All right, good morning, physics students. I'm trying to make this so I can do a little bit better demonstrations. Um, I left you guys off where we were covering how to make calculations of electrostatic forces when there were more than two charges. Um, and I had you complete a video that involved um, three collinear charges. And what you needed to kind of keep in mind, actually, let me just change the colors here so it'll be easier for us to see. So we got this one charge here. All right, got another charge here. Since I can do colors instead of Q1, Q2, and Q3, we can just call them like the red, the green, and the blue. And the important thing to consider here is that the Coulomb's law equation for the force is only the force between two charges. It's kind of like gravity, where everything exerts a force of gravity. Well, all charged things exert forces. And the force between two things is independent of the force of the other charges that might be there. So for example, if there was no green charge in the middle, I might still get the same force of attraction from the red charge on the blue charge. And since that force goes both ways, the blue charge is going to attract the red charge with the same force. Let's just assume that these are horizontal for now. And I'll just say this is positive and this is negative. That's the only way they'll be attracted to each other. And let's say that this green one, if you're struggling with how to make your Flipgrid video, obviously, if these were attractive and I wanted the blue charge to have zero net force, well, the green charge would have to be negative. And what you would see is that just like I could calculate the force between red and blue using the Coulomb's law equation, I could calculate the force between blue and green using the Coulomb's law equation. In this case, the green force is going to, or the green charge, is going to repel the blue charge, and the blue charge is going to repel the green charge. In between the green and the red charges, well, the red charge is also going to be attracted to the green charge. So the green is going to exert an attractive force on red, and the red is going to exert an attractive force on green. So another thing that we can kind of see here is that the charge on the right, the blue charge, experiences zero net force. That doesn't mean that all of the charges experience zero net force. And all of these are happening in, right, just a nice straight line. So the only directions that those forces can be would be left or right. Now, if we tried, and just as a reminder, we have F is equal to K Q Q over R squared. I'm writing this with my finger, but it's better than trying to do it with a mouse pad. So anyway, that equation is only going to work if I'm dealing with two charges. If I have multiple charges, I have to do that for each pair, each unique pair of charges. And then with free body diagrams, we always just pay attention to the forces that are acting on each charge. But this is the one-dimensional case, right? Everything is in a straight line. What I want to talk about now is what happens when things are in two-dimensional space. So in 2 dimensions, well, there's only one thing that we can do, and that is use components. So the first example would be kind of like the hanging balloon example or hanging charged object example. In that case, we only have one electrostatic force, but we also have some other forces going on. So let's just say that we have 2 charged objects, and maybe we'll just give them equal and opposite charges. That'll make things a little bit simpler for our calculations. So I basically have positive Q, and I've got negative Q. Now, the stronger these charges are, the more they would separate from each other, because the stronger, oh wait, actually, sorry, they'd be identical charges. I'm stupid. So these are repulsive. They're pushing each other apart. They've got the same charge. What I might be able to do would be to think, all right, well, how would I think about these charges? Well, I would have an angle that the rope is making. That's a theta. I have an angle that the rope is making with the vertical. I have these charges, and if I wanted to draw a free body diagram, well, I would have to think about the force of gravity, right? The force of tension. But this is electrostatics. That means we're really never right now dealing with moving objects. We're really just talking about the forces between them. And so I know that all these things have to balance out. And basically the tension force is, yes, it's fighting against gravity. It's also fighting against the repulsive force from these different, these 2 charges. So, this is old school, thinking back to simpler times. In this case, I think about my free body diagram and my components, and I can see, oh, well, Tx would have to equal the electrostatic force, and Ty would have to equal the force of gravity. Bear with me. I'm trying to get my iPad working so that I don't have to worry about this, but this is the best that I got right now. Anyway, so now we're really just thinking about this the same way. Of course, I know our force of gravity would be mg, and then my electrostatic force would be kqq over r squared. Now this is a 2-dimensional case, but there's only one electrostatic force. I just want to show you one other example. And that would be if I had, I'll just do a nice little equilateral triangle. All right, now, one thing that you need to keep in mind, you always just think about this, if these were all charges of, let's just say Q, and Q. If these are all identical charges, you just gotta take it 2 charges at a time. So let's take the bottom 2. Well, these 2 charges are gonna repel each other in a straight line, right, away from each other. And then these would repel each other. That's gonna get cut off at the top. And these would repel each other, right? So then we would have to calculate the net force um, simply by component addition. Um, we would have just horizontal components here, and then depending on the kind of angles of this triangle, it's an equilateral triangle, then I know that these would be 60 degree, and this would be a 60-degree angle in between there. Um, so I'm going to post an assignment that asks you, it has questions involving charges that are in two-dimensional space. That means that you have to go back, right, and remember your SOHCAHTOA. It also means that you are going to need to, review vector components. But all of that's pretty old. The only thing that you just got to keep in mind here is that even though you're dealing with multiple charges, you um, only need to think about two of them at a time, right? So I can look at these two, and I'll do the calculation for those two, find the force between those two. I can do these two, right? Um, and depending on how the question is, if the question is only pertaining to one of these charges, let's just say this bottom right one here, then that one charge is the only one that I need to calculate the forces between. If I got three charges, I need to know the forces that two of them have on the other one, but I don't need to concern myself with the charges between these two, right? So if I'm looking at the bottom right, I don't need to worry about the force of the top one with the force on the left one. I only need to worry about the force of the top one on the bottom right and the force of the left one on the bottom right. All right. I will be posting office hours again. Um, email me if you're having trouble with PowerSchool, and I can try and share the invitation with a link. I hope everybody is staying safe, and have a good day.